want to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me, what do you want to be?
What is actuarial science? So actuarial science is the course I studied. So I'm a trained actuary. So I'll just talk about what I know, and then we can discuss what you want us to discuss. Actuarial science is just a science where you project what you suppose will happen in future using what happened before and using what is happening now. That's what actuarial science is about. It's about projection. It's about trying to predict what's going to come. So it's done in a scientific manner, and there are ways of doing that using scientific models or scientific tools. So largely that's what actuarial science is about. And usually it's applied in what we call financial service or financial sector, where you find banking, you find insurance, you find investments, you find pension funds, management, etc. That's where it's used. And why it's used in that area is because you usually want to project what's going to come so that you can be able to manage your business as much as possible. So basically that's what actuarial science is about and where it's used. Then how do you get to train as an actuary? How many of us love maths? All right. How many of us are doing maths? How many of us are good at maths? So different numbers are coming up. So with this particular science, you must be able to do maths. Okay. So it's a basic requirement. And when you have to do actuarial, you must have a maths that actually gets you to A level. You must have minimum A level maths so that you're able to do actuarial science. And actuarial science, you can do it in two forms. You can just go from A level with your maths and you just go and do actuarial science through professional international bodies that are there that train you. And they train you in what we call distant learning. In other words, they give you material to learn. You learn by yourself. And when you've learned, then you go and write exams by yourself and you pass by yourself. Okay. Then another way, you go to university, you do a degree, either an actuarial science degree, or you can do a maths or statistics degree. And then when you've done that, you can then be able to then join those international bodies again to do the professional courses, and then also do the professional exams where you are sent notes, you write on your own, and then you pass the exams. Now, something about the training itself, it's meant to achieve certain outcomes. One of the outcomes of the exams that you train to become a professional actuary, that you must be a person who builds what we call resilience. Does anybody know what resilience is? Yes. What is resilience?
The will to fight.
Yeah, a spirit of fighting, a spirit of relentlessness. So you could continue to push. And why is that important? The exams are meant in such a way that at some point, even if you're a genius, you will fail. Okay? And when you have failed, you must be able to pick yourself up and achieve again. So what it teaches you, even though you're at a distance, is you write, you fail, you redo, you pass, you continue. That continuous exercise teaches you ability to have courage that if you fail, tomorrow you can try again and be able to succeed. So that's one of the things that you are taught, or that is what you gain out of training with those exams. Number two, you are also trained what you call mental fitness. So in other words, remember I said you read by yourself, study by yourself, and write by yourself. So it's training you to just have mental fitness, to self-govern yourself, to be able to do things and be disciplined. Number three, it also ensures that you are able to stand pressure. So in life, there's pressure all around. So if you are faced with pressure, then you are able to stand. Pressure comes from every direction. That's why those that are able to stand pressure are less stressed by those that are not able to handle pressure. Okay, so those are the three fundamental outcomes that you gain apart from just getting the qualification itself. So that's what the exams are meant to do. Then areas where you work, I know I highlighted these at the beginning, some of them. You can work in an insurance company, whether it's a long-term insurance company or a short-term insurance company. You can work in a bank. You can work in a finance, corporate finance. You can work in social security like NASA. You can work in risk management. You can work in investments. And the reason why you can work in all these different fields is because the qualification itself is portable. It's one you can use in different aspects. Remember what I said of it. It's used to project for the future. Or you use information you've had before, what you know now, to try and project into the future. Now, there are other areas where this portable skill is now being used, which is out of what has been the case for a long time. So instead of just being used in financial service or financial sector, it's also now being applied in engineering space as well, especially in manufacturing plants, where they are doing projection of how to do production in the short term, medium term, and long term. So it's also applicable. And then it's also used as well in other areas like artificial intelligence and as well big data analysis, so that you are able to use all that information to enhance your ability to project. Your ability to project depends on the amount of information you have or amount of data you have. So if you have more information, you are more likely to be able to project than if you have less information. An example, if I want to come to City East as a church, and I come to church for 52 weeks, and each of the Sabbaths I record the number of people that attend, I can use that information for 2022 to project how many people are going to come each of the Sabbaths in 2023. That's what Actuarial is about, in short. And then, since it's a portable skill set that you have, you can also apply it anywhere where there's need for projecting what you want to see happen. And now, the other element about it, you don't just project and leave it there. When you then walk into the future, right, you also stand at some point and look in hindsight to say, did my projection reflect what actually happened? You have to test. And the more you test how your projection was compared to what actually then happened, the more you can sharpen your tools for projection so that you're able to project better as you go in future. Long and short, that's what actuarial science is about. But like I said, it's for those that are good at maths and good at maths up to at least A level. And then beyond, it is just what you want to do. Then lastly, the profession is such that you can work anywhere in the world, and you are governed by what we call professional ethical code. In other words, you self-govern on the basis of the requirements that are expected of you. So no one looks after you or looks at you in terms of what you are doing, but it is professional conscience that you develop over time that regulate what you do. In other words, you don't take bribes so that you do work. You don't do things that are unethical, because professional code that is governing you is the one that makes you live according to those standards. I think long and short, that's what I'll say. And then as of me, I've worked in insurance, I've worked in social security, I've worked in investments, worked in risk management, and I'm now working at bank. So that's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's clap hands for you. I think I need to sit there because I'm hearing things from the side. So can you say you're a prophet? And your prophetic word comes in terms of maths. I don't know. I know you're thinking about it, but you won't ask him, so I'll just ask him. So you prophesy every day when you go to work.
You try to.
Anyone with a question for our new prophet? 1, 2. 3. So we'll begin then.
Basically, actuarial science is about determining what will happen in the future, right? But then, do you account for the unaccountable, like changing governance or world wars? Like we saw what happened with the Great Depression. Do you account for stuff that you cannot account? Because like it sounds like we use data, which is a positivist approach, but then you account for stuff that basically will just happen out of the blue. So is your work really reliable?
Yes. So our work is used on the basis of what we call probability. Do you know what probability is? Yes. A chance of happening or not happening. It may not happen 100% possibility. It may happen 50% possibility. It may happen 80% possibility. So if you are trying to project something that has happened, for the accounted, there's more chance that you can predict. But for the unaccounted, unknown, there's a higher chance that you will miss. An example, there would have been no model or projection that would have predicted that there's going to be Ukraine and Russia war, as an example. All right, it comes from the woods. But we have what we call contingency. Contingency means the unexpected. You also allow for that possibility. But what that possibility is it depends on your experience of how things pop up. So in your projection, you will say, my projection is to 80% possibility that it will happen, right? And the 20% you are leaving, maybe 10% for the possibility of the unknown, and the other 10% for possibility of error in your projection as well. So that's what you also do.
So in other words, for some of us who are not so complicated like you,
yes,
and that guy over there.
Yeah.
So if you've been coming to work by car,
yes,
for 3 weeks now,
yes,
what's the probability of us coming to work by car the next week? This is when you are now calculating.
Yes.
80% you're when you come.
Yes.
But 20% may say the car may break down.
Yes.
So you can't account for breaking down car if 3 weeks has been safe. Is that what you're
Yes, because it has not happened before, so assume it won't happen again. However, we can say, let's give 5% that there is that possibility.
Okay.
Because we look at possibility of things that have happened and that might have happened, which didn't happen. Then the issue of that other small probability we also give.
And the comp is the car also.
Yes.
Becomes 100%.
Yes.
Anyone else? Yes.
Are you able to predict if you're going to natural disaster?
Yes, you can, but the probability will be low because natural disasters happen in a long time, like maybe once in 10 years, once in 20 years. So your data is small. In other words, you don't have much to stand on. In other words, it's like a tree. So actuarial science is like a tree which has roots. Okay? So if the roots are there, they determine the height. Okay, ability to grow high depends on the what? On the roots. If the roots are not as deep, then you can't go high. So same with the natural disasters, because they don't happen that often. You don't have much information about them. You can try to predict, but your chance of predicting correctly is so low than something that happens more often. So you can predict, yes, but with a lower chance that you are accurate.
I heard the others whispering here, is being broke a natural disaster? I don't know.
Being broke.
Yeah, so whispering here, so
Yes, we look at your lifestyle
Yes.
and how often you've been broke before.
so most probably in 2023 you're going to be as broke
as you have been
So I
before.
hope the others will be yes.
If a new type of money comes out, do you have to pay for it?
Especially a gold one, isn't it?
A gold coin.
Saying a new type of money has come out, so I've got $2, I want to buy it. Can I buy it?
Yes, you can buy. I mean, look, anything that comes and you want it, you can pay for it. If new money comes, I'm also assuming the question also means that if new money comes, perhaps it has risks around it, and you don't know how to use it and how it will affect you. You also don't have as much information. Yes, you can try to do some predictions to say yes, the money is safe to buy etc. like gold coins. But your chance of being able to predict that it will be safe is so low because you don't have information. Like I said, actuarial science is dependent on what has happened before to predict what happens in the future. So if there's little that has happened before, you are as good as everybody. It's a guess. It's actually a guess that you'll be doing. So you can buy or not buy depending on if you want to buy or you don't want to buy.
I'm not seeing any more hands. The hands are down. Can we clap hands for him?
Thank you.
Mine is 100% correct. I will predict that you're about to eat right now. There's no chance of that being wrong right now. But whether you get full or not, I'm not.
It's something else.
Yes. Yes.
I want to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me? Can you tell me? What do you want to be? 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 Can you tell me? A chef, a teacher, a firefighter, a scientist or an astronaut, a police officer, a doctor or a nurse. What do you want to be? Oh, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor and help people every day. I want to be an astronaut and fly my rocket into space. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist.